right, I've got 6:30. I'd like to call this meeting of the Finance Committee to order for Thursday, January 11th, 2024, in the Coit Meeting Room. The first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Now, if we could have a moment of silence for those who have lost their lives in service to our community. Thank you. Is there anyone here for public comment? Seeing none. First order of business the chair will entertain a motion to approve the Finance Committee meeting minutes for Thursday, December 14th, 2023 in open session.
I make a motion?
Second.
All right, the motion and a second. Is there any discussion on those minutes?
Mr. Chairman, do the minutes need to indicate it was an emergency meeting?
The 14th wasn't.
Oh, the 14th wasn't, thank you. It's a regular meeting,
It's
sorry.
a regular meeting. Any further discussion?
Is the minutes going to be for the emergency meeting as well?
We do have minutes for that meeting to approve, yes.
Okay.
They're behind those.
Any opposition to approving the minutes for the meeting of this Thursday, December 14th, 2023? Hearing none, passed by unanimous consent. The chair will now entertain a motion to approve the Finance Committee meeting minutes of Thursday, December 21st, 2023 in open session.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, any discussion?
I have one correction, I believe. Just a word, I didn't know my glasses. The second page paragraph, third line, explained that the amount had to go. Very simple.
Okay.
Where is it? Hold on one second.
Page 2,
Yep,
third line, explain that the amount due had to go.
oh yeah, I see it.
Just a minor.
Yeah, I missed that one.
And do these minutes need to indicate it was an emergency meeting? Or does it matter?
I don't know, doesn't
I
matter.
don't know either. I can find out if you want me to.
Just call it a special meeting.
Or
We can do
special?
that?
Yeah.
Yep. So, just say there was it was a special meeting?
Okay, yeah. Where should I indicate that?
Somewhere near the top.
Call to order, at the top?
Yeah,
Finance Committee
special meeting, yeah. That'd be a great place to put it.
In the header.
Yep. All right.
So make a motion to approve the minutes with that amendment.
As amended?
Yeah.
Second.
All right. Actually, the proper way, do you accept the amendments to
I do.
as the second, do you accept those?
Yes.
All right, now we can vote on the minutes as amended. Is there any opposition to approving the minutes as amended? Hearing none, passed by unanimous consent. All right. Nothing for appointments and hearing. Nobody from the select board. Nobody from the school committee. Nothing for old business. Into new business. Spoke with the assistant town manager. There is nothing for them to update us on. There have been no changes. There's nothing going on that we need to know about, basically. So we'll move into reviewing the 2025 department request budget. So what I'd like to do, basically, tonight is we'll take a quick run through this, identify questions we need to get answers from. I'll send those to the town manager, get responses back. So what I would like to do is go through the items, anybody identify, basically like we do at town meeting, anything you've got questions on, we'll come back to those and have discussions on those items. All right? So first is the moderator with a 2025 budget request of $200. All right. Selectmen, budget request of $984,405.
What's the big jump?
So if anybody has any questions, let me speak up, and we'll discuss it after we go through everything.
Why was the increase? There's some $40,000 increase.
We'll put that as a check mark, and we'll come back to it. Finance Committee, $368,800. Town Accountant, $367,405. Assessors, $303,525. Treasurer Tax Collector, $365,265. Human Resources, $564,078. Information Technology, $931,417.
That's a big jump, too.
Town Clerk, $244,420. Elections and Registrations, $178,045. Conservation, $250,680. Natural Resources, $1,134,400.
Yeah, I'd like to
Okay,
understand the jump in that.
all right.
Yeah, that's a big number, too.
I think it has to do with the cost of the seed, but I'm not 100% sure.
Planning Board, $286,735.
That's a big jump.
That's a huge jump.
Town Hall, $357,000. Police, $6,378,635.
It's a good-sized jump, too.
Fire, $5,898,911. Building Inspector, $444,704. School, $25,434,353.
Yeah, we ought to ask about that. There's $1 million there.
DPW, $6,319,295. Snow and Ice, $116,570.
Now, that's a decrease. A little bit, right?
No, it's the same amount as,
Oh, same amount,
Yep.
that's right. I'm looking at the
Actuals, yeah.
23 and 24.
Street lighting, $22,000. Transfer station, $1,325,260. Wastewater, $1,083,850.
Oh, boy, that's a big number, too.
Well, I think that, some of that number has to do with the hire they made.
Yeah.
And some of it has to do with getting ready to go online for phase one at some point. So
Well,
that was explained to us in that budget meeting.
yeah, we'll get back to it then. Cemetery, 10,000. Health, $412,022. Council on Aging, $420,690.
Oh,
Veterans, 200,437. Human Services, 157,831. Library, 992,198.
That's a good sized jump too. We ought to ask about that.
Recreation, 386,950. Historical, 17,830. Cultural Council, 90. Principal inside 2.5, 753,385. Principal outside 2.5, 700,000. Interest inside 2.5, 102,338. Interest outside 2.5, 178,475. Interest temporary borrowing inside 2.5, 91,750. Interest temporary borrowing outside 2.5, $242,000.
Wow. That's a big number too.
Retirement expense, $4,373,482. Unemployment, 80,000.
Yeah, but why did it go up so badly? From 40,000 to 80,000 in 1 year?
Medical insurance, $9,317,535. Group insurance, $16,800. Medicare, $668,587. Town insurance, $1,285,800. Cape Cod Technical High School tuition, $1,020,545. Cape Cod Regional Tech High School debt, $446,714. Brings a total of the department request to $75,235,412. All right, so let's go back to where people had questions or want more information. So the selectmen,
I just have a question about what that covers. Is that pretty much covering the town manager's office?
The selectmen, no. This is,
No.
this is the select board.
Oh, okay. But, I mean, what is it that they spend for? I mean, actually, I should look at that, I didn't go.
So there are salaries in there, as well as expenses.
Yes, and it's the town manager and assistant town manager salaries are in there. So that's what I was wondering about.
So if you go to the book,
Yeah,
and their area there, it talks about some different things. Energy cost
right.
is noted. Heating costs actually should be up 41%.
Yeah, my question was, did
Well, that's
this budget cover the town manager? And the answer is yes.
Yes.
Town manager and assistant town manager salaries are in here, so
Right.
that explains it for me, thank you.
What's interesting, a lot of these numbers will change as well.
Yeah.
We don't have the final numbers from the town manager yet. So these will change, and we'll get a chance to hear from everybody.
This is just your initial budget request then?
Right.
Yeah, this is what the departments have requested. What we'll actually deal with is what the town manager puts forth as his recommendations, which he'll bring to the select board on the 22nd.
But what I like about the form that you handed us tonight is you have the actuals from FY '23. So that gives us a good indication. And then looking at '24 and comparing as we go forward. So it'll be interesting at some point after '24 to get those numbers to compare, so.
And what I like are the percentages. I mean, that's what sticks out to me, are the amount of the increase percentage.
Yeah, well, and the thing to remember when looking at this is the percentage for the change from 24, you're comparing it to the actuals from 23. That's why it's so high.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, ours is 412,000.
Yeah.
One form, and that's a big percentage.
Any other questions at the moment regarding the selectmen request? Hearing not, we'll move on. Information technology.
Yeah, that's a biggie.
Anybody who sat in on their departmental meetings?
Yes, their meetings were a lot they have a lot of subscriptions to different services. They help protect the town and other software updates that come in. Those have all increased.
Yeah, it was the new technology
Yeah.
that was big on it.
What I found interesting, though, is in their summary, the first sentence is, the proposed fiscal year 2025 information technology budget is level funded. But according to these numbers, it's not level funded.
Well, you gotta understand, all of that 149,000 increase, 108 of it is salaries.
Right, okay.
And that's, the bulk of the increases you're seeing are gonna be salary related.
Right, and I understand that.
Yeah.
Did they hire, is there any
Contractual,
increase in manpower?
Or part-time.
Was there any increase in manpower?
What, for IT?
Yeah, for IT.
Well,
That
you-
No, there
would explain it if there was.
There was someone that retired, from my understanding, and they replaced that person, but
well,
there's still the same number of people there.
but there is an increase of 28%, but some of that may have to do with the contract.
Yes.
Right,
Contracts,
contractual
yeah.
salaries, yeah, I agree.
there any information needed for anybody from the town manager?
About that one?
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Natural resources.
I don't have a question about, I went to that meeting and it's only gone up 1.8% and most of it was salaries.
Yeah, and the amount looks high, but percentage-wise, it's not.
Oh, it was for the iPads too. She wanted her field employees to have iPads that they could, while they were on the water, track the,
Oh,
what needed to be tracked.
Oh, so are you talking about town clerk?
No,
No,
Natural resources,
resources.
right,
Natural
right, yeah, okay.
Really, how are they gonna use that, do you know? I mean, tracking what exactly?
Tracking violations that they come across when they're
Oh.
out,
Out and about?
yeah.
Interesting. But they got a cell tower out there.
I mean, it works.
Yeah,
I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
she said they don't really work from an office, you know, they work in the field.
Yes,
So she
absolutely.
wanted them to all have the capability to do their job in real time.
Right.
Rather than have to
does she
either
just
write
want-
it down or remember
Right.
and then get back to their truck. And
Right. And you can document with photos with those too, probably. Yeah.
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 Yeah, yeah.
Any questions for the town manager regarding natural resources at this time? Planning board.
Back to natural resources, are they gonna do anything with, remember the big, on the warrant, the trees and the limbs, and it took them about 5 pages to describe all that? Is any of that gonna
Have
come
no-
back,
don't know.
to and haunt us again?
Don't know.
Are you talking about the tree bylaw?
Yeah.
That was the planning board.
What was the planning?
They are in the process of working that out.
Okay,
And if it shows up, it'll be a warrant article.
Right, exactly.
yeah,
But they're working on the particulars of that.
yeah, that was terrible the way it was before.
And then now we're moving on to the planning board.
Yeah, I would say that
Yeah.
there was a proposed new full-time position, assistant town planner. And I think that's what that number is. I don't think that's,
If that's what it
if
is.
Rodney's worked that out with the town planner yet or not, but I'm sure that number will change.
Is that what?
Yeah, because it's all in salaries, the
Yep.
increase. So we'll probably find out more once he makes his recommendations.
Correct.
Right. And that brings us down to the police. Yeah, the entire increase is salaries.
Yep,
Yeah, steps.
steps and all those things.
Yeah.
Fire is probably the same thing.
Yeah, because they actually have, it looks like a decrease in their expenses. All right. Oh, that's there. School. To be honest, we probably aren't gonna be able to ask questions till we get the presentation from superintendent?
Right. And Rodney's, they'll probably have that worked out in the near future too, regarding their numbers too.
Right.
Town, so.
Right.
I don't think we can do much till we get that.
No, no. And the school committee really, I don't think they voted on it yet.
And it really isn't a big percentage, it's just a big number.
Yeah. Yeah. And probably a good portion of that is salaries.
Right.
Let's see, where's the school on that sheet? Scroll down there. Increase, yeah, about 800,000 of that, almost 900,000 of it is salary related increase. Wastewater.
That's 163%, but we know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the
I think it
cost.
might be a good idea to have the wastewater superintendent come in and meet with us, chat about the increases and just kind of get a familiarity of him, because I'm sure we'll be working with him in the near future as well.
It's not gonna go down.
I agree.
No, and I think it'd be good to have that relationship and meet him, bring him in, ask him to tell us a little bit about himself and about the program and where he sees things going forward.
All right. I can put that request out there. Not a problem. And just, it'd be interesting to see what it turns out to be after the town manager makes his recommendation as well. Library, 992,198.
Was that the increase in staffing? Was there an increase in staffing in the library that they talked about?
A good portion of it?
From last year, they had an increase of staffing.
Right, but there is also an increase in expenses as well.
They're increasing their hours this
Oh.
year.
They are?
Yes.
They have to because of the size of our town.
Yeah, yeah, for the
For the accreditation.
for
Keep the
accreditation.
accreditation.
Yep. Yeah, of that 119,000, 68,000 of it is in salaries and 51,000 of it is in other expenses, which would be related to being open
I think there's
longer.
a request for some overtime as well.
Yeah.
I think the town manager was gonna
Right.
discuss that, work
Yep.
with them.
We'll see how that pans out. Uh, Interest temporary borrowing outside 2.5.
Yeah, that's a big number.
And it's a big number, but we just passed a bond issue.
Right.
The inside one, inside 2.5.
We can have the assessor come in. Explain basically all those and what his charts are showing. All right. Unemployment.
Is that a new line item?
Unemployment, no. It's been there all along. Questions regarding it?
Yeah, why is it such a big number?
Well, my guess is they know of somebody or a couple of people who maybe have left and have applied for unemployment, and so they've got to request that amount. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's $80,000. It's a big number.
And I am not sure, I can't recall whether those amounts are given to the town or not. I know several of those lower numbers come from other sources other than the town,
Right.
like the insurance amount and the retirement expense and those things. Pose the question as to why it's basically doubling in 25. See what the answer comes back is. Any further questions that anybody has regarding the departmental request budget? That they would like answered by next meeting.
Chairman, I did have some questions. I don't know, it's about going forward and looking at some wastewater questions that I'd like to get submitted to the town manager to be asked, but I don't know if you want to do that under this or how you want to handle that.
Well, we can send them along.
Okay.
And they don't necessarily have to have them answered at the next meeting.
Correct.
But probably, actually, depends on when they have, if we invite the head of the wastewater,
Yeah.
you're giving him advance notice of some of the questions.
Oh, I'd like to. I mean, pretty simple. For example, I'd like to know where we're at with the process of the sewer plant and what we've spent so far. Of the $54 million and the $12 million that have been allocated, how much of that has that been spent? How much is left of that?
Yep.
And projecting out on a regular basis, it'd be nice to get a financial update, either monthly or regularly, regarding what's being spent for that project and where they're at.
Okay.
And I'm sure GHD has that information, their engineering firm, probably the wastewater gentleman does too. So I'm looking for that type of information, so we can keep track of that. Because I have people asking me, and maybe asking you guys, about the cost and expense and so forth. It'd be nice to know some of that information on a regular basis.
All right.
Can
So,
I just let you know that every sewer commission meeting, they go over it,
Oh, great.
and it's in the minutes,
Yeah.
but the minutes, you can watch it on the, they're televised.
Yeah.
But
But it'd be nice for
usually
them to come
somebody
here
starts
and
making it. Right.
chat with us too.
Yeah,
so why don't you send me an email with your questions and I will
Yep,
forward them
Forward it
along?
on.
Yep.
thank you.
Sure, no problem. Just add them to the other ones in the request and make it one point of contact. Makes everybody's life easier. Any other questions?
On snow and ice, that's always an interesting one. I mean, when it's a very low year, like last year, you know, God willing, this year, does that money that's on the budget, does that somehow fold back into the town, the snow and ice?
Yeah, like every other account, anything that's not spent goes back to the general fund. Or it goes into what is called free cash.
Right.
It gets turned back to the town, it gets certified, and then the town gets to use it later on.
Okay,
Now, the thing about the snow and ice account, they budget the same amount every year. It's the only account that they are allowed to overspend. And then at the next town meeting, there's an article in the
Right,
warrant
yeah,
that
yeah,
will
yeah.
true it all up.
yeah. And if it's under, it falls back into the general
Yeah,
fund.
yep. Any other questions? Hearing none, we'll move on. Additional topics. Anybody have anything they want to bring up?
Charter review meets on the 29th. We'll come back and start visiting that once again. Making progress. Last meeting, we worked on some more of the preamble that is being suggested, possibly being suggested. And working on the wording for that. Working on some other areas as well, moving forward, as we say. Doubt there'll be anything ready for May's meeting. We are working on a survey that will go out. Encourage everyone, when they hear about that and get that, to fill that out. That would be a good insight for us as well. And CIP, Capital Improvement Program, has started to meet. In our first meeting, that was yesterday. Last couple of days are a blur for me, but I think it was yesterday. And went over several groups, including police and DPW and construction building and things like this, looking at what can be spent from that program. There's a second meeting tomorrow, 1 o'clock, public meeting, to talk some other groups and bring them in and discuss their needs for CIP, and then we'll continue to look at that.
And are you in that group?
I am in that group.
In the
I am the
CIP
Finance Committee representative.
representative
Yeah.
for CIP?
But it is very interesting.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure.
Get a lot of
And
insight.
Is it held in this?
Yes,
this
it's held
room?
in this room, yeah.
At 1 PM tomorrow?
Yep.
Okay.
Has there been any forward motion on whether the town clerk should be elected or appointed?
Richard's question is, has there been any further movement on whether the town clerk's position has been, should be appointed or elected? That has not been decided.
Okay,
That is in discussion. That's one of the questions that will be on the survey more than likely. And we will continue to discuss that and debate that and see where it goes.
That has to go to a vote for the town.
Yes, that will
Yes,
have to
it
go,
will.
whatever we recommend has to go to a vote.
Yeah, it has to
of
be
the
voted by the
Right,
town,
has to be
yeah.
Approved by the town, so.
But you don't think that charter review will be presenting anything at a town meeting until maybe a year from May?
That I don't, I don't think it'll be this May. Could it be October? Possibly, but our moderator and our chairman is here
Yes,
tonight.
yes.
It's October.
Yeah, oh, October, okay.
We shall see. It is a lot.
Oh, I'm sure, I'm
And-
sure.
I thought it was going to be.
Right, but it's also, it makes you think about things maybe you haven't thought of before, and everyone has a unique insight, and brings a lot to the table, which is very nice.
And we have a good leader.
Yes, we do.
Anything else? Hearing none, our next meeting will be in 2 weeks, January 25th, again here, as we get to start being televised quite regularly. All right, nothing else, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second,
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, any opposition to adjournment? Hearing none, passed with a unanimous consent. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
You as well, thank you.